As someone who's still growing up, I learn a lot of things every day. Things about myself, things about the land I live on, and things about the world as a whole. This comes with maturing. When you mature, you learn from your mistakes, your successes, and your fears. One thing I always understood, however, was my love for video games. This shouldn't be a surprise if you've watched my channel at all, or even if you haven't, and just clicked this video out of pure curiosity, you'd probably understand that I enjoy video games. You just assume that, no? As a kid, I loved Nintendo. I still do. Like most people around the world my age, and even people much older or younger, franchises like Pokemon and Mario were huge parts of my childhood. But one game series that is arguably as popular as those two always eluded me. The Legend of Zelda. I always assumed that the Zelda games were good. I mean, I feel like everyone knows this. Ocarina of Time is widely regarded as one of the best video games ever made. Breath of the Wild took a genre video game and completely revolutionized not just Zelda's identity in the modern world now, but the identity of open world games as a whole. With a game like that, you just assume that it's amazing, right? But you never know until you try it for the first time. I've only had Breath of the Wild since 2020, and what's crazy is the fact that I'd never really sat down and played through the whole game until this year. There were always so many options on what I could do, and I just never settled down or figured out what I wanted to do. I'd been too used to playing linear games, with objectives and set ways of getting to those objectives, that when I got thrown into the world of Breath of the Wild, I got lost. It wasn't until I gave the game my complete and undivided attention that I finally understood how to play it. The truth is, you're not supposed to know what to do. You're not supposed to do things in a specific way, and that's the beauty of Breath of the Wild. The game encourages you to do whatever you want, however you want. Sure, there are objectives, but you don't really have to do those objectives. You can fuck around for a few hundred hours and no one would care. The point of this game is for you to do what you want. When you first step foot into the world and you see a giant volcano in the distance, you sure as hell can just run over there and see it for yourself. If you're curious about the mountains in the distance, then you can just go over there and scale the mountains. If you want to swim out into the ocean to get to a distant island that you saw, knock yourself out. In the first few hours of the game, it shows you the mechanics, how to use those mechanics, and then sends you out to go do whatever you want. Yeah, technically you have to go to the divine beasts and take them down to help you, but nothing's stopping you from just walking over to Ganon and fighting him from the second you get your paraglider. The pinnacle of Breath of the Wild's game design is its exploration. I've never played a game that was so successful in hooking me into its world, and after you get hooked in, the insane amount of content in the game keeps you wanting more. One of my favorite experiences from Breath of the Wild was this one time, about 20 or so hours into the game, I was taking my sweet time exploring around this massive canyon when a song started playing. It was serene, gorgeous, and completely took my attention away from whatever it was that I was doing. All I could do was wonder why this song was playing. Then after a while, I saw why. I can't really put into words the feelings I felt when this first happened to me, but that was the moment I fell in love with this game. It's that feeling you get as a kid when you learn something new. That feeling only movies and music can replicate. That feeling that only on very rare occasions a game can create. Breath of the Wild is a very special game. It's one of those games that reminds you about the wonders of not knowing anything about the things around you. Like most games, it's an escape. The way the characters, buildings, enemies, and animals all effortlessly mold around the world that was created is fascinating. I feel like these days, it's not very easy to come across games that feel so distinctly human, and I think that's one of the most obvious parts about Breath of the Wild. This game is by no means perfect. What the fuck You okay? You need some help? I can help you. Like, bro, if you need, I'm here. Oh, shit, bro! Oh, fuck! Hey, come on, man, come on! It's a flawed game. I think the most glaring aspect of this game that doesn't live up to expectations is its dungeon exploration, and the lack thereof. Sure, technically the shrines count, but even then they leave a lot to be desired. In fact, some shrines don't even have puzzles or problems to solve. It's just a chest or a fight with a mini guardian. And although those fights are fun for maybe the first few times, they get old very quickly. I also don't like how little it feels like they used the different mechanics of the game. I feel like there was never a point in the game where it truly felt like they were pushing the boundaries on how you used your abilities, like the time stop, bombs, etc. Even though this game feels so special and how flawlessly the exploration is and how the world building is implemented, the game never feels like it truly reaches its potential. I feel like the combat's also pretty weak. The only times the combat truly felt special was when I challenged myself not to fight using weapons. But maybe that's what the developers were intending. To do things in your own way. I don't know. I can't give this game enough praise. I haven't even touched on the way they use music or how incredible the visuals are, because if I did, this video would be too long. I love Breath of the Wild. I really do. Also, Kass is literally the best character in any Nintendo game ever made, and it's not even close really. I mean, who else comes close to this? Fucking Elephant Mario? No. No, he doesn't. Or maybe he does, actually. I haven't played the game's not out, but like, really listen. I mean, look, Kass is just such a good character. I don't understand how this fucking fat-ass Elephant Mario is gonna compare with this fucking beautiful, perfect, immaculate piece of character. Like, when has anyone ever written such a beautiful character? Like, bro, the first time you see Kass is like 40 times better than the fucking dragon shit that I was playing before. Who gives a shit about dragons?